Tonight on MyTeam, we head to the Temple of Speed. Jack Doohan acts like he's taken speed, and after some pain, can we make big gains? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the F1 23 MyTeam career mode. Round 15 today at the Italian Grand Prix for a 35% race. And as you can tell by the season's results, well, I'm not impressed. And in the performance sim, it's a shambles. It's a shambles as well. I want... However, things at the top are getting tasty. Red Bull now, not even the fastest team. Heck, not even the second fastest team, because Mercedes and Ferrari are on the move. So let's see what kind of fortune that brings them as we head into qualifying. It's Saturday, so it's qualifying day, you donut. The Italian Grand Prix, the Temple of Speed. Packed to the brim with history, and who can write their own history here this weekend? There's the sexy vixen, and boy do we have a point to prove out of the Parabolica for the first time in short qualifying. We really have to pull our socks up. Yes, it's... I accept no responsibility. Mercedes, you frauded me. However, we need a good weekend today, and we can begin that trend here in qualifying. First chicane of our weekend, and a little bit of a slide out of turn number 2. Getting a bit zesty on the power, but we get it all together. Dart out of the corner like a dart. These analogies really write themselves. However, to become an F1 driver, luckily, you don't need analogies. You need pace and big testicles. So through Parabolica we go, as we go wide. So we've actually swiveled, which is not ideal. But across the line we go. First lap of the day. Oh, for fuck. After slapping up my team, it's time for one last attempt at redemption here in qualifying. P19 is the worst possible start. So let's begin by absolutely acing this chicane. And my God, do we! Nearly 2.5 tenths worth of improvement in just that chicane alone, as we keep to the inside line, the shortest line of attack, through the right-hander, the Curva Grande, into La Roja for the last time in this qualifying session. Don't clout the curbs too much, and it's another 10th we gain, if not even more. And by the end of the lap, we give a big smooch to the grass blades, just for a little bit of extra panache. But through the Parabolica, look at the time gain, half a second gained. Surely this is going to be mightily impressive as we cross the line and we get... Oh, for the love of Krishna, how are we so bad? It's P11. It's P11, and all I'm feeling right now is the crippling and overwhelming feeling of depression. However, it shouldn't really be that bad. Not, oh my God, we only beat Bottas by 1,000, and the gaps being that small don't stop there, because Sainz, Ocon, Albon's in P8, so that's mightily impressive from him. Piastri, hell, maybe even George Russell within our reach, had we just been a 10th of a second quicker. So it was not all it was cracked up to be. Hamilton, though, on pole position. The top 3, I told you, Mercedes and Ferrari have bought upgrades. Hamilton and Leclerc make the most of them. Norris has weaseled his way into P2. You speed-inhaling nonsense. Still, at the end of the day, Red Bull 4 and 5, they're not completely... Are you actually serious, Jack? Are you actually serious? I know you're Australian, but I didn't mean for you to actually drive upside down. Unfortunately, teammate, I don't care about you. We've got bigger fish to fry, so let's see what kind of dish we can concoct. Because it's race day.
Welcome to the venue of evocative corner names, like Parabolica, which was renamed in 2021 to Curva Alboreto, in honour of Italian motorsport legend Michele Alboreto. It's a fitting tribute to him here at Monza, ahead of the Italian Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Perez, Verstappen, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Ocon, Sainz, Grim Reaper, Bottas, Gasly, Magnussen, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, De Vries, Sargent, Doohan, and Zhou Guanyu. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And Anthony Davidson joins us for this one. And great to have your company. There's no weather to worry about here. What will be going through the drivers' minds as they finish these last-minute preparations?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one. A bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
We have it all to do then. P11 in qualifying. Let's try and up that by 10. 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go at the home of the Tifosi, and we get a decent start against Sainz. Ocon's dropped anchor though. Straight away we get past him, but we have to be so careful of Bottas, who's found the momentum. But we turn defense into attack down the inside. Contact with Albon though. We give a big smooch to his diffuser. Massive contact up ahead as it's 3 wide briefly. Russell on the hards. Oh, that's free real estate then. Some more espionage going on in the strategy department, but we're still side by side with Russell as Albon's trying to go for a Verstappen. We do a Ricciardo though. Switch to the inside. Russell's been gazumped. And Verstappen with a terrible exit. Look at that switchback. And down the inside into Lesmo 1. Squeeze out the championship leader. And we're through into P6 already. Alex Albon, the next target then. What a start from him. What a psychological boost that is for the Williams driver. We used the slipstream. Verstappen looks to be a threat for a brief moment. Now we're the big fish down the inside. And we are through at Ascari into P5 already. 6 places gained in a single lap. Just breaking the slipstream so Verstappen and Albon can fight amongst themselves, which they are into Parabolica. It's a start of dreams for us here at the Italian Grand Prix. It's exactly what we needed to see. Hamilton's in another continent meanwhile. Good grief. Anyway, race start. Maybe he had some threat from Norris at least as the 5 red lights are out. And there actually is some threat. Norris with great bites into the bitumen from his soft tyres, although Leclerc's looking very racy as well. Norris to the inside of Lewis Hamilton, down the inside into the first chicane, and trying to use the momentum on the outside, but Hamilton absolutely scorches out of that exit, and off he goes into the distance. The Mercedes man's looked imperious since Zandvoort. Yes, it didn't all go his way in the strategy department, but his pace was something to worry about. And it looks like at the Italian Grand Prix, the 7-time world champion has found his groove again. Lap number 2 then, and through the Curva Grande, you can see Norris is only just ahead of us now. The 3 in front of us are going hammer and tong. Perez, the Mexican minister of driving really slowly. I just broke the sound barrier, but I'm going to break Norris's heart. Down the inside into Lesmo 1. We did it to Verstappen, but Norris absolutely sails round us. Thwarts our plot entirely, and that was not part of the script whatsoever. It's actually meant Russell's back in our slipstream range, but slipstream into Ascari, we lift off for the time being. We know that we can just bide our time. If these 3 fight, those positions and those points will come attract their way to us. So we, like a magnet, are going to sit back and let the filings collect themselves. Which would be nice if Perez, you know, just missiles into Leclerc. But lap number 3 here, through Ascari we go, and still the game plan remains as just keeping up with these guys. Lap number 4 then, you can see what the state of play is as Perez is going past Leclerc. The Italian fans are shouting words I can't say on this video, but whatever the case, the Mexican man is up into P2, and this is an important race for him as well, remember. Second in the championship, any points he can gain on his teammate are absolutely vital, as we are still well within the slipstream range of Norris. How? You haven't even moved forwards. You absolute through Parabolica at the end of lap number 4, approaching lap number 5 rapidly here. Only 19 laps of Italian Grand Prix. Norris has got an absolutely scintillating exit. I've never seen anything the like. Perez has been absolutely gazumped meanwhile. His plans were thwarted. He's had to scarper out of position. We've gone sliding into turn number 1 out of nowhere. Ridden that curb like Tony Hawk. Out of the corner we go though, and again, still well within the range of Sergio Perez. And through Ascari... Ignore that corner, just ignore. We have a score to settle against Sergio though. Our rival, remember, no less. So we really have to put him to the sword. The Mexican minister of being bad, really. Through Parabolica we go, though. End of lap number 5, onto lap number 6, where it's Perez that experienced pain last lap. It's going to be to his gain, as Leclerc's the one that's going to be languishing on the straight. My word, Norris has blitzed him, and Perez will surely do the same into the first chicane, but they remain side by side. And this is the opportunity we've waited for. Look how slow they're going, and look at the exit we'll get. Perez is compromised into Curva Grande to the inside of the Red Bull man. We'll have the slipstream on Charles Leclerc. Look at the speed we have down the inside of Charles Leclerc into P3 of the Italian Grand Prix. What a set of overtakes. We get it all crossed up at La Roja, but Leclerc and Perez still fighting. A gap is now a second. And so we can easily breeze away just a little bit, get our composure back. What a set of overtakes that was, for the podium no less. Well, you didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? Ha ha ha! You muppet. Charles Leclerc with DRS. Yes, we've actually got DRS as well, but Leclerc's speed is so much... That was borderline attempted murder. Luckily for me, the FIA's guide dogs are all dead, so they haven't seen any of that. So, P3 we remain in the slipstream of Norris as we head through the Curva Grande once again here. Lap number 7 of this Grand Prix. My God, absolutely flying by. Hamilton with a gap of 4.5 seconds out in front. That's outrageous, but Jack's on the move. Look at that, he's actually passed Nick De Vries. So that's one remedial he's had to get. Logan Sargent knows escaped into Narnia. He's past Hulkenberg and he's into P18. Horrible news for him. Out of La Roja, no! And he's crashed into the Aston Martin. Alonso there as Doohan. Has he got... No, he hasn't! Jack Doohan, no! My teammates out of this race as well. Alonso, I mean, he should have retired ages ago. That was a joke, just to be quite clear. But what on earth happened to Fernando Alonso? Well, he thought going through La Roja at full throttle was a good idea. There's him pirouetting. And there's the crunch.
Okay, safety car deployed. Safety car's been deployed. Watch your delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack. Okay, I've got a brand new race strategy on your MFD if you want to go and check it out.
Well, well, well. Hello, stranger. It's been a while since we've seen you on the Formula 1 circus. And boy, what a bunch of clowns. Well, a bunch of clowns have entered the fray. English clearly was a secondary language when God programmed me. But are we going to pit? Of course we're going to pit under this safety car. It seems like the absolute prime time to do so. Keep that track position and then be a threat towards the end of this race. We've seen what we can do with our level of opportunism, and we're going to display that once again once we get to the end of this safety car. Can we make it a purple turn-in? Yes! Thanks, Ronaldo, again, for rupturing my eardrums. As we go on to the medium tyres out of the pits, Norris does indeed get out ahead. Crucially, track position is kept with a bit of alien interference. But I'm not going to complain about that, and the FIA haven't seen it, so it's all good. We remain in P3 then, and we're going to have to now process behind the safety car. But that's dull. And really, I don't want you to die from boredom. So, let's move on from the safety car and get straight to the restart. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, safety car in at the end of this lap. We're over halfway through. 9 laps, 10 tours of the Monza circuit left to go. And let's see if we can ace this restart and really ascertain ourselves as a contender for the lead. We are prepared to go racing. Across the line we go. And for some reason, it's not gone green. I have no idea why. We have to concede the position to Norris. But Hamilton defends so harshly. The outside opens up. We're going to mortgage that line round the outside. And we lead. What? We lead the Italian Grand Prix. Oh my God, out of nowhere. How on earth have we lucked ourselves into this position then? P11 in qualifying. We have no right to be anywhere near the front of this race. I am squealing for joy like a little piglet. And boy, have we done some porking on that restart. It's not all sunshine and rainbows though, unfortunately. Through Lesmo 1 we go, and Hamilton immediately has so much pace through these medium speed corners. Yes, on the straights we're a lethal weapon, but we've got to concede that Hamilton is the overall pace at the moment. So we're going to play it safe. We're going to let him through, and we're going to sit behind him and get his slipstream. Oh my God! Perez makes massive contact with us. Front wing off, and it's another safety car here at the Italian Grand Prix. We'd hardly even got underway racing again. Perez sees a gap that apparently was open and shears his front wing off. Well, in the slipstream, there's a replay then of him in the slipstream of Hamilton as we go to the inside. We close it, and he's, Well, we need to review this. So let's watch the replay gratuitously a few more times back. Right, I've assessed the situation, and I agree it looks bad. It does look very bad for one man in particular. And realistically, you have to ascertain the blame to Esteban Ocon. I mean, what was he doing there? Now that we've cleared that up, though, the safety car has also cleared up, coincidentally. And it's time to go racing once again. Can we have another good No, we can't! Oh, dearie me! We time it so poorly. Yes, we have the slipstream on Hamilton, but we just put the pedal to the metal a bit too early. Was right underneath his diffuser. Leclerc's the one that could go on the move. He is going on the move round the outside. A brilliant piece of opportunism from the Monegasque man, but we're easily going to curtail that attempt, and we remain in P2. And our primary objective now is to just try and keep up with Lewis Hamilton. And, well, realistically, from the way that this race has transpired so far, that is a tall order, and very tall. Too tall, in fact. I'm really scared of height. We're going to try and bring Hamilton down to our level, though, as actually it's the ones behind us that have been put down a peg. Leclerc, Norris, and even George Russell, who started on those hards, now on the mediums, of course. They're all fighting away. Leclerc and Norris fighting so harshly, they've lost half a second in the first chicane, if not more. And that just means we can remain in Hamilton's slipstream. We've got such good speed. You can tell from the slipstream having to lift off a little bit there. We're also really confident on the brakes, which helps. And it turns out we can skate over that curb. Okay, that's quite interesting. Could help us then in terms of keeping in that DRS range as this race goes on. But we have to remember, we have to be so careful. The longer we stay behind Hamilton, the more the tyres will casserole themselves. DRS is enabled. We can't do it all in the slipstream, but it's paramount we get the move done sooner rather than later so we can hopefully control it to the end. So let's cook. This gives me deja vu. F1 2019, we were fighting Hamilton for the win in Monza as well. Although in that case, it was in the McLaren Renault. God, remember the days when McLaren had Renault engines? I certainly do. As now we're well within slipstream race. This is the closest we've ever been. And we also have the helping hand of DRS. So, out of Parabolica we go. We actually get a little bit of a slide on there. That wasn't part of the script at all. And the fairy tale is slowly unraveling. The pages are being torn at the seams as we do use the slipstream. But we're going to play it safe for the time being. Just stay behind Sir Lewis. Be cautious about what we're going to do here, because this race can either be won or lost depending on what time we make the move. Leclerc and Russell again going side by side. Looks like Russell has the move done. Mercedes are 1 and 3 now in this race. So well done to them, my word, but for how much longer will they be 1-3? We have casseroled. We have brought the pot up to a boil. We don't make such a mistake out of Parabolica this time. Lewis Hamilton, hot under the collar. We're turning up the heat. We use the slipstream. We are maxed out to the brim on our top speed. We're going to try and go round the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Yes, we do. Into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix on lap number 17. Just under 3 laps to go of this race. And we have made our way from 11th place into the big time once again. And we surely can sniff eternal glory. We have a purple Sector 1 as we head underneath Mick Schumacher's cruises. It's always good to see that he has employment. I mean, what would he do otherwise? Oh no! Massive slider mistake out of Lesmo 1, and suddenly all the advantage we'd made on Sir Lewis has been completely eroded. What an exit from him! And the zero side pop Mercedes. You can tell that this was recorded at least 5 years ago. But he's easily passed into Ascari. It's devastation here. That was not part of the plan. We get a massive slide out of Ascari there, managing to catch the car at big speed there. My goodness me, it's fine margins here at the Italian Grand Prix. Good news is we have 5.5 seconds worth of cushion to be pushing against the cars behind us. Look, That's not a fat joke. Don't try and cancel me here. But still, this dogfight rages on between two of the best Brits in the business currently. Not to blow my own trumpet or anything, but we have done things with this car that shouldn't possibly be, well, possible, to be quite honest with you, as we get a great exit out of the chicane once again. Slipstream, ERS, we're surely through on the inside of Curva Grande. We keep deploying the battery. Hamilton, though, remains in that inside. We chop across, and we're surely through into P1. No! Massive mistake in the chicane. Hamilton does the switchback and does it brilliantly. And that could be it. He's through into Lesmo 1. What racing at the Italian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong end of it. And I don't know what on earth happened after that. But this car became a completely different animal. I mean, where before it was a rabbiting greyhound, it turned into a very sad pooch. As through Ascari, look at the understeer we have. Oh my word, what on earth's happened? And I told you we were on the knife edge. I told you we were pushing it to the absolute limit. But that's catastrophic. Hamilton almost out of DRS range of us already. The understeer is absolutely enormous. Our ferocious fights come to an end. Hamilton comes away with the biscuits. Our vehicle's apparently fine, but I think that could be it. We're going to have to settle for P2. We gave it a good try, but really there was only one man that was destined to win the Italian Grand Prix. Looked in complete control, even when he seemed to be under pressure. He was the coolest head in the hot sun of Italy. Lewis Hamilton wins the Italian Grand Prix. Another win for the Mercedes team in this MyTeam universe. Unbelievable performance from both of them. A 1-3. And we, well, saunter our way around Parabolica, but I can't complain. It was pain last race. We're back on the podium in Formula 1. P2 at the Italian Grand Prix. We make the most of every single opportunity. Even oh no. A frustrated bonk driver of the day, though, but still, what incredible racing here in Monza.
Then. It's a thoroughly deserved win here in Italy after another excellent Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, tyre management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Oh, man. What? I apologise, I've clearly contracted tuberculosis since the end of recording the race, but Lewis Hamilton wins again in F1 23 in the MyTeam universe. Mercedes have looked imperious the last few races. Yes, penalties and rainy qualifyings haven't quite put things in their direction, but they seem to be right on track now. And where in real life, it seems that car is on skates. In the F1 MyTeam universe, it looks like Hamilton has got it on rails. Yet another win for the Mercedes team. What I was going to say before I contracted Class A pneumonia was I have mixed emotions right now. We're P2, and I'm extremely happy about that. There's nothing to turn your snout up at when it comes to getting P2. Considering we started 11th, and we went out of the Dutch Grand Prix last time, I will absolutely take that. On the other side of the coin, I feel like I could have won that race, and it was just me pushing too hard, taking too much out of the tyres, really. And, I mean, we ignore Jack. I might actually throw him off a cliff. I mean, I know he had no room to avoid it, but, like, use your synapses. Move off the racing line, man. We're looking at my lap times now. You can kind of see what I'm on about here. I apparently lost so much time, in particularly the middle sector, is where I lost absolutely monumental amounts of time. I have no idea why. The car just became a completely different machine once that lockup happened. But in the end, Hamilton deserves to win. And in the driver's standings, well, luckily, we do finish ahead of both our main competitors, the Red Bull drivers. We move up to P2 in the driver's standings. I must say kudos to all the top 10, to be honest with you. There was ferocious battling. George Russell as well now moves up to 5th in the standings. Hamilton is not too far off the front of this pack as well. which is unbelievable. Still, Jack Doohan remains in last because he's bad. Equally, as we look down, though, Norris is catching up, race by race, even closer, putting the pressure on Fernando Alonso. Another blank shot for the Aston Martin team here. As we look at the constructors, even there, they're feeling the pressure and the heat. I mean, realistically, we've got 4th in the standings, but Mercedes now move up to 2nd and can begin to put the pressure on Red Bull. Haha, not looking so smiley now, are you, Checo? I mean, yeah, look, granted, I did actually probably murder him, but shut up. Perez will disappear into the ether then as we look at our acclaim. For once again, it will shoot up to unknown heights, although not that much, because Jack Doohan is a twatting nonce. As we look at our money, though, yes, we gain from Lupo Industries, but equally, okay. The only thing left to do then is realise we have some cash to splash. So we're going to go to our fabled powertrain department and get a fabrication upgrade. Some simultaneous upgrading will go a very long way. And that will do it. F1 23 My Team in the Italian Grand Prix is done and dusted, and we're back on the podium where we deserve to be. If you did enjoy this episode of My Team, then leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We head to the dazzling lights of Singapore next, where we aim to go one better. But until then, whatever may happen, I once again thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, I'll see you soon.